Today we're going to be taking a look at Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Woohoo!
I'm Keone with California Beer Reviews. We have Eric with Massachusetts Beer Reviews.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have Beer Cub and Michelle.
Hello.
Howdy.
So, Eric, do you have any info for us?
Oh, info. I guess I'll give you some info. Your info is that this is 5.6% alcohol by volume. It has a bitterness unit of 38. It uses a Magnum and Pearl bittering hops, finishing of Cascade. It is the 2-row pale and caramel malt. And this was, I believe this was first brewed in 1980. And they like to say that their claim to fame, well, the Sierra Nevada Brewing Company's claim to fame is this beer. And they like to say that they got this whole, this whole craft beer thing really going in the early 80s. So, yeah, mostly around the country, you should be able to find this beer, no problem whatsoever. And I believe it is distributed within the 50 U.S. states and in many countries around the world. So there you go.
So, who'd want to start first with their impressions about this beer?
Well, it's really lovely in the glass. It's kind of a, maybe an amber, light amber. It's definitely got some sedimentation floating in there. Nice fluffy head on it.
Absolutely,
and bubbles, tiny bubbles.
Yeah, if you don't pour this into a glass, you definitely don't realize how actually unfiltered this beer really is. That is pretty interesting. Yeah, I think Beer Cub hit that thing on the head, no pun intended. Although I get speaking of head, I get like a 2.5 finger head there. Looks pretty rocky. It's got a little bit of the lacing, but I don't think that's really going to last all that long at whatever it is, 5.6% ABV. And yeah, I agree with Beer Cub, yes, on that appearance.
I definitely finding it to be pretty well-balanced beer compared to when we did the Stone Arrogant Bastard.
Well, yeah.
I'm noticing that this beer is hoppy, but then again, the other flavors that you get with this beer are much more balanced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm noticing that even if you just take a nose on the beer, it definitely has a lot of that upfront bitterness right away. A lot of pine, citrus, I guess a little bit of a floral kind of a character. There might even be like leather or tobacco or something like that, but it's not like drinking a Optimum IPA, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's not quite that hoppy. It's not an Imperial IPA, nor do they claim this is even supposed to be an IPA, but for it just being a straight American pale ale, I think it's pretty upfront in the bitterness right away, at least on the nose.
I get a citrusy tang on the back of my tongue when I swallow. That's kind of what I notice, but it's not that in-your-face hop kind of punch. It's just more light, refreshing.
Yeah, I find it the same here. I'm not getting too strong of the barley. I don't know if I chilled it too much because I had that problem once before.
Yeah.
But I'm mostly just getting that hoppy flavor. Like it's straightforward. It's not really strong. Like you said, it's citrusy though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you guys tasting any of the malt or barley or any other ingredients in here?
My assessment of what I'm getting out of this beer in general in that regard is, I think at 38 IBUs, which are your international bitterness units, I think for this being a pale and being 38 IBUs, I think it is a pretty hoppy beer. But again, it's not an IPA. It's not cutting your head off in the hop category. But that's the first thing that I notice, and it lingers a little bit on the back of the palate. I do get a pretty good caramel malty note out of the beer. I think it's pretty well balanced, but I think it's just slightly on the bitter side. So compared to the malts, the hops are just a little bit more aggressive, but I think it's really well balanced of a beer, and I don't think anybody would really have too much trouble drinking this, even if they didn't know they like pale ales. Somebody actually might like this one.
Yeah, I think I think I agree with Eric. To me, it has a distinctive hop, but not an overwhelming. It's not like that puckering sort of hop. Even though it's very citrus, some of them you feel like you just bit into a lemon or something.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it has I notice a little bit. I mean, if you try IPAs and double IPAs, some of them have that slick, resiny, hoppy, oily kind of flavor. And this this is a good beer if you're not accustomed to that stuff, you don't know what I'm saying, just try this. You'll get a little touch of everything that hoppy beers have without it being to, cut your head off in any one direction. Doesn't do one distinct thing more than the other, I guess is what
right. Yeah, it does have that breadiness kind of behind the hops, so it does have that balance in there.
That's funny. That's exactly what I was going to say after you guys were done talking. After sipping on this for a while, I'm beginning to find that breadiness taste hiding behind the hops. Also, a little bit of that caramel, like what Eric was saying.
Yeah, I think it's totally. I think if you want to go into the mouthfeel here, I think it's totally a medium bodied beer to me at least. It's totally crisp and clean. Definitely finishes pretty clean. And it's ultra refreshing for sure. It's just got a little bit of a slickness and an oiliness that you get from the hops in the beer. Now, Sierra Nevada normally uses whole cone hops, which means they just use the actual cone of the hop, and that's what they use in brewing the beer. So if you've ever had any other Sierra Nevada beers, you do notice that a lot of them have that same kind of a hoppy flavor, regardless of the fact if they are a hopped up beer or not. And we are getting a phone call. Why are we getting a phone call from Friar Tuck? Sorry about that, folks.
Isn't Sierra Nevada the industry standard for American pale ales? Am I getting that right? That they're kind of the one you compare the others to?
I believe that sounds familiar. Yeah.
That's kind of what I had in my mind. Is it's sort of like if you're going to try this style, this is sort of the standard. This has all the things that you want in an American pale ale. Exactly. And when you try other ones, you kind of.
Yeah, that's what I find if I taste other American pale ale style beers is this is what I compare it to. And I'm always impressed with Sierra Nevada. All their beers I've ever tried, their quality control seems to be very strong. Their beers are very consistent. I can't say that about all craft beers. I mean, I've had some really good craft beers, and then you go and get another batch from the same brewery, and it's not always the same. But I've never had that problem with Sierra Nevada.
Absolutely. Hello, Friar Tuck. Hi.
Hola.
Welcome.
It's a pain in the ass if you play games to this.
Yeah, Google Plus isn't the most user friendly, although it's supposed to be social media.
Keep calm and don't blink.
Eric, I got a quick question. Is this also brewed with any wheat? Because I swear, after sitting away from the beer for a little bit, I get a little bit of an aftertaste of what a wheat beer would do to me.
Kind of like a wheat malt. I don't believe all the website says they use two-row pale malt and caramel malt, so they don't use any wheat malts, or any wheat type grains. But I suppose, everybody's got a different taste palette, and I suppose that could be an assessment you could make of that. Yeah. This stuff is totally, I know we probably heard this before, but this stuff is totally subjective and opinionated, where Keone's got a different opinion of the beer than I might have in, Friar Tuck and Beer Cup, but whatever you get out of the beer is probably a good assessment of the beer.
Yeah, I'm not getting that when I'm drinking it, but like as I leave it on the table and just sitting, just like the stagnant on the palate. Have it.
I think it's just yeah. I think like pale ales and IPAs, it definitely has that distinct hoppy, earthy, grainy kind of a musky flavor. Maybe that's kind of what you're describing there. But again, I don't think any of this, unless anybody has an opinion on that, I don't think any of what you're saying, it may sound like that would detract people from the beer, but I don't think that's a deterrent at all. I think that's kind of nice qualities to it.
Yeah. So
yeah, not super hoppy. I know it's a pale ale. Last thing I had from these guys was the Hop Hunter, I think it was.
Yes.
Very hoppy.
Yeah, they infuse actual hop oils into that beer. So they're really trying to concentrate all that hop flavor right there for you.
Thicker mouthfeel than this too. This has got a pretty clean finish to it and that.
Yeah, I've not rated this. I have not done this on my beer channel, and I have not rated this on Beer Advocate. But if I were going to rate this out of 100, I guess I could. I guess I would go, B plus, maybe that 88, 90 range. It's definitely deserves that grading for sure, and it's totally, if nothing else, for nothing else, it's totally stood the test of time, and apparently the craft beer community keeps buying it, so that must mean it's a good beer, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, B plus to A
Wait
minus.
a minute. Wait, Eric.
Well,
now,
what?
are you saying that if it sells, that means it's good?
Somebody must think that. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Somebody must think that.
But to tell you the truth, it sells that much, and I think more or less this beer somehow ends up speaking for itself, because I don't ever see print ads or television ads for Sierra Nevada beers. Never.
Yeah. I wasn't going to argue the beer, just the logic.
But you see all the ads for Sam Adams, and that's
right.
the #1 selling craft beer in America. And this is technically, I think this is considered #2 next to Boston Lager. I think.
I'm thinking these guys got a consistency thing going too.
Absolutely.
Similar to what Budweiser has going for an adjunct lager and that.
I agree.
Which they somehow use the same yeast strain, same amounts, same whoever their chemist is or whatever they got going on there knows what he's doing.
Yep.
Which is a good thing, not a bad, especially for microbrew, I guess is what it would be considered.
And if you really like this beer too, another good thing is it's not a wallet buster, because around here you can usually get 12 packs for $12 or $13, which for a beer this well made is not bad at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think Sixers are between high 7s to 9. I think in my
right in the range. Yep. I got mine in the in their summer variety pack, which has this one, their Nooner Pilsner, they got a Kolsch, and they have the Kelterweiss. So that's a again, that can't. I don't think that was much more than 13 and change. So that's still, they still put out a pretty good product for literally not too much change. Is what we're saying.
Yeah, I got a 6-pack of this, and I threw in a couple singles that they had kicking around in there. They had I got a Summerfest crisp lager too that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I've had that before.
The Torpedo I've had in Bombers before, so I threw one of those in the 6-pack too. The rest of them were pale ales. So I can't. Yeah, I've never had the Summerfest one. I'm looking forward to trying that one.
Yeah, those are both good choices.
So yeah, I'm gonna stick with that B plus A minus range there. I think it's definitely worth the money. And if you have never had hoppy beers before, or you only drink light lagers and American style lagers, this could be something worth exploring. That's my assessment.
Yeah, I think it's a good gateway beer for people who want to stretch out. And I mean, it's a solid beer too. It's the kind of beer that you have somebody that is super into really hoppy beers or really exotic beers. I can't see them turning their nose up at this. It's kind of beer that to me could please most audiences.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Given that it's very well balanced, in my opinion. Even though the hops comes out a little more than the malt, the barley malt, but I find this beer to be very attractive because the hops ain't overwhelming like you'd find in Stone beer. It's very smooth and relaxed, so I think I would give it a 4.5 out of 5 just because it's so drinkable, so easy to drink. It's an easy way to get into the craft beers, kind of like a gateway beer, like Beer Cub was saying. So yeah, I would give it a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah. Really
Does Stone make a pale ale?
Yes.
They make an India pale ale. I don't know if they just make a pale ale.
I swear there is a pale ale. This is a regular pale ale one.
I'm wondering, is that super hoppy, considering it's a pale ale compared to like their IPAs and that?
I had about 3 or 4 of their Stone beers, and all of them were really hoppy.
Real hoppy.
Yeah, they do just a Stone pale ale. I'm looking at their website right now. It's this one we're drinking now from Sierra Nevada is 38 IBUs. The Stone Pale Ale 2.0 is 55 IBUs. So it's just a little bit more hoppy than this one.
Yeah, I had the Stone Pale Ale for myself, and it was really hoppy. It actually blows this beer out of the water on how much hop there is. That's mainly all you're tasting.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love San Diego and all those Southern California craft beers, I mean, if you're going to go to that region of the world, if you're going to go to that region of the United States, and you're not looking to try an Imperial IPA or Imperial Stout or brown ales or anything like, or a Belgian style beer, you're primarily looking to get, hops. And if San Diego doesn't know what they're doing with hops, then they're apparently doing something wrong. So I guess what I'm saying is, especially Stone, they just take a beer style and say, I wonder how many different varieties of hops we can shove in this beer. And sometimes they go overboard in San Diego. Other times it's done very, very nicely. Like I love all the Ballast Point beers. That's really good. I used to really, really love the West Coast IPA from Green Flash, and that thing is just a super hop bomb. So you got to be careful when it says pale ale. You got to really know what you're getting yourself into if you don't like hops. And
I think some of those breweries, I think take the Spinal Tap approach to hops. They start at 10 and they go up from there.
Exactly.
I think I've had a porter in that from Stone that was super hoppy. You can taste the hops, even like in their porters and their stouts and that.
Yeah.
Their barley wine. You even notice the hops in those things, I think, from them.
Yep.
So I mean, if you're a hophead, you go with Stone. You can't lose on any of their stuff, I guess.
Exactly. Stone, Green Flash. Green Flash, I think that's all they do. I think they got one at Green Flash called Palate Wrecker, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
That's talking about IBUs in their beer entirely.
Yeah, I have to admit something. This is actually the first time I ever drank Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, or Sierra Nevada in general. I can tell you right now that this is going to be my go-to beer of choice when it comes to getting a hoppy drink. Because it used to be Stone, but they're a little too strong. I love my hops, don't get me wrong, but everything needs to be balanced for it to be completely enjoyable.
Yeah, I think you would really, really like that. I don't even know. You can probably still find it now. It's the Hoptimum IPA from Sierra Nevada. If you're talking about this beer, this pale ale here being very, very, very well balanced, and that's what I like about the Hoptimum, which is an Imperial IPA. It's super, super, super hoppy, but it's also super, 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 super malty. So you don't get like Herbal Essence shampoo and nothing else, basically. It's very, very bready and malty, and it's got all those good caramel notes, but it is really super hoppy, so you don't have hops just slapping you around, and then, oh yeah, there's malt here somewhere.
Yeah, the Optimum was the mouthfeel was thin on it too compared to other IPAs too. I think it's very drinkable based on that aspect.
Exactly.
With the mouthfeel. Hey, Keone, can you get any Alpine?
I don't think I ever heard of that or seen it around here.
I think they had I got some in a trade from a guy out there one time, and they had like fire trucks and mountains and stuff like that. I think on it. It was Alpine Brewing, I think is what it was. They may not even be in business anymore. It was a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look into that.
That's the name of that. No, I just Googled it. Apparently, that's the name of the town they're in, Alpine, California.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
then I'm pretty sure I can find it then.
Yeah, they make some good stuff too.
Microbrewer offering growlers for off-site consumption. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, but I think I got Bombers. A couple of them leaked in the mail, of course,
No.
because they came through the postal service. But a couple of them
Tax
survived.
dollars that worked for you. Cheers.
Yeah, right. So yeah, but a couple of them made it. So and they were decent from what I recall. I mean, super hoppy like most of the stuff from California, but they were good. They were decent.
Exponential hoppiness. Yeah, they got some crazy looking beers, I tell you that.
To break up the monotony a little bit, I was wondering, what would you guys pair this with? Like, what type of food that you could see eating with this? I'm kind of curious because I'm still thinking of that at this moment, but I want to hear you guys' opinion.
Spicy chicken wings.
Yeah, I was thinking spicy chicken. Yeah, barbecue chicken.
This kind of a beer would cut through fatty foods and spicy foods with ease, I think.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree with you there.
Or maybe some beef ribs or something like that.
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Getting hungry.
Just about anything.
I think it's really interesting too how hoppy is relative, in that I didn't used to like hops at all. So when I drank one of these, I'd be like, gosh, this is so hoppy. This is so hoppy. Well, lately I've been drinking Green Flash, and like a couple of times recently I've had the Hop Czar by
Bridgeport.
by Bridgeport.
Mm.
And so today when I drank the Sierra Nevada, I was like, oh, this is so mild. I thought this was more hoppy than it is. But it's just because I've been drinking more hoppy.
It's been a while since I've had a pale ale too, and like I said, my first sip of this, I'm like, this is very clean, crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, IPAs that I've been drinking over the past few years.
Right.
Because it's been a while since I've had a pure pale ale.
Yeah.
So like you said, if you get used to the hops, you build up like a tolerance, almost like a tolerance.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta again, like I was saying, you gotta watch out for some of these. And again,
I'm cooking.
Again, I love Southern California beers. They're probably my favorite spot in the country for beer. But you definitely have to watch out when you go to California if all they do, if all the brewery does is just tries to mess around with hops entirely, where you may like you think you might like a red ale because you really like Killian's, but you didn't realize that this Killian's you're drinking is a triple hop beer, and you may absolutely hate that beer. You gotta really look out, because I think that's the thing. I think that is the thing that's going around in craft beer is I want to drink a double IPA, and I now want to go to the next biggest and bold thing that's even more hoppy and more bitter than the last beer you just drank.
That's the problem too. You get people rating these things that are just like you say, they just like hops. So they just, oh, this is a great pale ale, and it may not be true to the style because it's just super freaking hoppy that it's more like an IPA or an Imperial IPA based on however many hops or the ABV that's going on.
Slowly you're starting to see triple IPAs come out on the market, and that's just too much. That's too much for even me to tell you about that.
Hey, did you guys get to try the habanero grapefruit sculpin from last Friday
I went to Doherty's East Ave Cafe in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and they had that on. They had the habanero sculpin on in bottles, and that was That wasn't a terrible beer. I thought it was going to be worse than it was. That thing, I mean, Sculpin itself from Ballast Point Brewing Company is an amazing beer in and of itself. And all you do is you take a sip of that beer and you wait about 3 seconds, and then the entire back of your throat is covered in a burning sensation.
That's the habanero one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy that. So maybe in my younger years, 5-10 years ago, I might like a spice kick along with my.
Yeah, and then I decided that a good thing to do was to try one of my buddy's chicken wings right after that. That was a good idea. No, I'm already drinking a liquid chicken wing. Why would I want to eat it?
Right, let's add to it. Let's add to the burn. I mean.
Exactly. I mean, that's an oddity. We're going so off topic here, Keone, but happy Friday. I mean, that's such a strange oddity of chili beers. I think I was watching what was it? Better Beer Authority, and they reviewed a chili lager, and then the host there, James Nutt, asked the question, so when would you see yourself drinking this just chili beer? And one of the guys said, purely on a dare. That is the only time that this beer is appropriate for anybody to drink it, is on a dare.
Yeah, I've had a total of 1 chili beer, and I won't be upset if I ever don't have another one. It's not my thing.
There's nothing, I can't really, I mean, the habanero Sculpin was good. I can't say it was bad, but there's nothing that would draw me back.
Base killer. Interesting.
I can't bring myself to drink this. My friend left this here, back Thanksgiving of last year. I still got it kicking around my foot. I can't bring myself to drink it. Yeah, I can't. I've saw a bunch of reviews on it on YouTube, and everybody's like, yeah, it's a novelty. I'm getting this heat and burn, and no beer flavor whatsoever from it.
Wow.
So it's only like 5.5%, if that, I think. So I mean, but yeah, ghost pepper in a beer. I can't. I can't bring myself to drink it. So
exactly. Yeah. I don't think we need to review a ghost pepper beer anytime soon.
No, another novelty beer that's kicking around. I mean,
going back to the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale again.
Yeah.
Would you guys buy this again? And if so, would you buy it on a regular basis?
What was the last part of that question?
Would you buy it on a regular basis?
On a regular basis. I don't buy this on a regular basis, but I can't really see why not. I mean, a 12-pack is like $12, $13 in Friar Tuck in my area, so
yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't just buy. I seem to gravitate more towards Euro Pale Lagers or High Life or stuff like that, but I can't see why not. Now that you bring it up, I can't see why I wouldn't ever want to buy a 12-pack every now and then of this guy. Why not?
Yeah, I'd get it on tap. If I was at Applebee's or something like that, they had it on tap, I'd definitely get a glass of this over Sam Adams seasonal, whatever they got going on in that.
Summer Ale's trash, if you ask me. But don't ask me.
How do you feel about that beer, Cub? Would you buy this again?
Yeah. I've had it for several years, and I'm kind of like Eric. I don't know why I don't buy it more, because it's always good. It's a fair price, and yeah, there's really nothing to complain about. I mean, I give it an A, solid A, and within the style, like I said, I think it's the flagship of that style. Everything else should be graded against, and I've had it on tap also a couple of times at places, and like any beer, it's better on tap. But yeah, it's great right out of the bottle.
So,
any other words?
No, not from me. I'm all done talking.
Yeah, the only thing that would deter me from getting this again is possibly price. But like Eric said, the price isn't outrageous, and there's such a variety out there. I'm constantly wanting to try new things even if it's the same style I've had before from another brewery.
True.
Again, the only other thing I can think of to watch out for if you ever want to buy this on a regular basis, you ever want to drink this on a regular basis, you're going to drink multiples of it on a regular basis. Well, don't drink multiples on a regular basis, but you're going to make a session out of it. It is 5.6% ABV. Don't drink and drive, and yeah, that may creep up on you a little bit depending on where you're at and what you're doing. So be smart when you drink this craft beer.
What's everybody's package date on this thing?
We got February 5th.
March 24th.
I got April 14th.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're fresh.
Bottling date is on the packaging date is on the back of the bottle on the top of the label Keone, if you can see it.
Okay.
PK.
Alright, so May 4th, 2015.
You got a really fresh one.
He's got June 4th. He wins. He wins. We all have to mail him beer.
Oh, I got May 4th.
Oh, May 4th. That's still pretty good.
June 4th, that's yesterday.
Damn.
He still wins.
You must know the brewer.
Yeah, speaking of packaging, that's another nice thing about it is I think they do this nationally is they distribute in cans also. So if you're ever going somewhere that you can't take bottles, it's a good choice for that as well.
That seems to be the up-and-coming trend is right, yes.
Yeah.
And the other nice thing is if you're a home brewer, these have the nice wide little lip so that when you do the bottle cap, it grips.
That's cool.
We have learned this. There are certain bottles that are way easier to cap yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't have to drink Grolsch to do it. All right.
Right.
Yeah, that's the only home brew I've ever done is use those fake ceramic top ones like the Grolsch bottles. Man, I've never done the capper.
Yeah.
My friend says kegging is the easiest to do
Oh,
home
for sure, yeah.
system of that.
It's like this vise you have to push down, and it grabs the bottle and pushes the cap down. So when the little thing right here is really narrow, it just goes, and yeah, you have to be really careful.
You tend to spill beer everywhere, which is a very sad thing.
No.
Low beer all over the place when you're doing the Grolsch bottles, so you're spraying it all over.
That's true.
So,
all right.
I wanted to get your opinion in it too. I don't think got your opinion on the food. What type of food you would pair this with, and also would you drink this on a regular basis?
Are you speaking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are they cooking tonight? Maybe they're drinking this with whatever they're cooking tonight.
Well, what I'm cooking right now is some pasta with a creamy cheese sauce and ham cut up in it. So,
Very good.
That's the answer.
That's the answer.
That works.
You know, if he hands me one of these, I will happily drink another one. I confess, I like strong beers in general. I do like ambers and I like malty things, but I just am so astonished at how mild this seemed to me because I haven't had one in a while. And but yeah, it's very good. It's very refreshing. It would be great on a cold day. I mean, on a hot day, you know, cold and easy going. I like how carbonated it was. I like a beer that's kind of crisp in my mouth. I like that little burn as it goes down. So if it's not a boozy burn, the carbonation burn is good.
Yeah.
I completely got awesome lacing going on my glass, obviously.
Yeah, I got a little bit as well. Not as much as you though.
Decent Belgian lacing, as they say, you know.
Exactly.
That's a quality beer right there. So.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like I'm ending the video here, but rate, comment, and subscribe to Keone from. Where are you from?
California.
Reviews.
San Diego.
And you guys
all are in this community together, and we need to support one another, and it'd be great to
put them in the
support
links below.
Keone. Yeah.
And also, I wanted to see, how did you guys like this? I was thinking about doing a little Friday get-together, do something interesting.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it works for me. I've told Jay that weekends work a lot better for me. I'm running around like a crazy person during the week. I got two little girls that dance, play soccer, softball, all that stuff. So.
Well, he reviews beers at 8:30 in the morning. I'm retired. Call me. Oh, wait a minute. This is still live. Sorry.
Jay's throwing tomatoes at his computer screen.
Look what I framed you, Eric. You better end it now. No more comments.
Yeah, I think too much has been said already.
Another Friday, and maybe do another craft beer or just a instantly brain fart.
How many of you had?
In general, that all you guys can get.
Right.
Yeah, you just got to get something mass produced, or like the idea I threw out there is if you can do a local one. Eric do something from Massachusetts, a porter from some local brewery. I'll try to do a Connecticut one. Keone, you do something from California, San Diego area. Even if it's if we can't find something that's mass produced that everybody can agree on or whatever, you know.
That would be
Yeah, and if Wyoming doesn't make it, we're only 30 minutes from Colorado, so.
There you go. That works too.
There you go.
So.
And all you guys coming on Wednesday?
Yep.
Yeah, gonna shoot for it. Like I said, I can't guarantee anything. Like I said, I'm running around like a crazy person, but I've got the MGD, threw a picture up on the chat thing there, or whatever, the Hangouts app. So yeah, I'll definitely try to do that. I'm going to try to do the Natty Daddy one when Jay does it. I'm hoping he can find St. Ides or something. He seemed interested in maybe doing that sometime. So we'll see. Like I say, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but I'm a maybe anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Next week we're going to be doing the Miller Genuine Draft beer examination. We'll be doing it on Wednesday. But for all you viewers at home, we do it on Louisiana Beer Reviews channel. I think his channel is called Ron the Riot. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it wrong or not, but he hosts that channel. I'll put a link in the description below so you can see the other evaluations and also see the future ones, which is Natty Daddy after next week. But
Yummy.
This Wednesday coming, we're going to be doing the Miller Genuine Draft on this channel.
Just search any kind of, I don't know, Colt 45 or whatever in the search on YouTube, you'll find Jay.
Yeah, and Keone,
he's very easy to find.
His review or one of those.
His last name is spelled like the two words, The Riot.
Yeah.
But I think it's like Cajun or French, so I think it's pronounced something more like Terrio. But it looks like The Riot. I kind of like The Riot better.
I didn't want to even try to pronounce it, so I just read it out how I see it.
Exactly.
But do you guys have any last words before we end the video?
Yummy beer.
Support Sierra Nevada.
Yeah.
Drink it.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, they make some good stuff. Get their Torpedo, get any of their seasonal stuff. I've never had a bad one from these guys, so anything from Sierra Nevada works for me.
I agree.
All right. Until next time, YouTube, thanks for watching.